The Coinceras channel appreciates your continued support. Wow, we are living through an incredible time. Right now we are around 25% from BTC, which would be a record high. We haven't seen anything similar since the last halving episode, which coincided with a mumps outbreak. It is shocking to see things happen so fast. All of a sudden, it's acting really strangely, and we're racing towards it. Not to mention, it's really exciting. Since most markets are riding the Bitcoin price surge, things are set to get crazy, which will probably appeal to people's emotions and lead to coins running rampant. You may now safeguard your money and withdraw funds anytime you like thanks to your newfound trading acumen, safety measures, and prudent decision-making. Last but not least, keep in mind that you should not allow your emotions dictate your actions. Your reasoning is now clear to me. Alright, now we can review the 7 suggestions. However, I believe it is necessary to clarify whatever I may have misunderstanding on the previous work proposed by the Genuine Lads and the fact that it had reached the stage where it needed to be merge tested, etc., before we go on to this one. The latest data I have indicates that this is about to go into the test net. Furthermore, a merger is probably going to happen soon. I will hold off on making any decisions until I hear otherwise from them and the merger's decision makers. Of course, you're welcome to vote on it. Please let me put up that screen once again so that everyone knows that the code base is being maintained by individuals. He hasn't gotten any money, for instance, since the new year 6 months ago. Lots of time has gone by since then. Assume I'm right. The responsibility of maintaining the code base falls on him, which saddens me. The burden of the blockchain is on him, and as a result, he has a great deal of duty. He finds himself shoved to the side of the pile as the R1 job is abruptly taken away from him. The show must go on, alas, in the presence of a development crew that is fast and precise. Please, God, let this be the last time anything like this occurs. It would be really appreciated if they have received my communication because I do not want any of these causes to cause further delays. Before the halftime show, we would prefer not to see this. Despite our best efforts, we aren't really experts in rocket science. Thus, let us return to the viewpoint of government. We can talk about this proposal now. I have already looked over this proposal, and it's very identical to the other person's assignment. The two men's proposals were identical. It seems like things are going downhill when I see this and understand they've been rejected several times. I really hope that everyone is working independently to find answers, finish projects, and understand how everything relates. In addition to the fact that testing has started. Still, these people keep moving forward, and here we are. Give me a clear indication when it's done, please. No dots are missing and no T's are crossed. Plus, it's a pain in the neck because I'd prefer not cope with the potential problems that could occur if these guys entirely regress while working on something else, such as bugs and breaking states. We prefer to avoid such situations at all costs. We have seen the damage that quants can do again, haven't we? A lot of people don't trust the blockchain, and some still didn't believe those currencies would crash once they did. This has been going on for a while. Hopefully, this is the beginning of people having trust in the blockchain again. What we hope to avoid, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the women's cash issue is really dubious, so guys, you need to be very careful. That is not going to be an excuse for me to hide it. The whole Twitter sphere was an elaborate joke. My advice would be to be very careful. The trial becomes a web of intrigue for the accused. Therefore, it's puzzling that they now wish to raise an issue connected to a litigation they are currently embroiled in. Hence, artificial intelligence and related ideas. Crash and burn. Observe caution. Proceed and show me the progress, like I was mentioning. I wholeheartedly support it. It is critical that we execute it precisely and without incident. I put out a movie about a constitution yesterday, so. As I indicated earlier, Frog informed me about this through the Guduk in the department, and I have no problem drawing attention to an official's corruption if it's for a good purpose. In my opinion, that is reasonable. They surely deserve it for this. A lot of people have talked about this constitution. Everything needs to be thought out thoroughly. Personally, I don't think it does. Not that I'm trying to make a comparison, but the original United States article in the Constitution contained 9 articles. I think it would be a good place to start by building upon what we have. Blockchain regulations include a need that developers complete Know Your Customer (KYC) processes. Thereby, it stands to reason that this article will have precedence in the process of amending the Constitution. Second, there must be no duplication of effort on this blockchain, and I think it's important that we make that point very clear. I think this should be a part of the Constitution. It would be extremely chaotic, for example, to have a node that handles both deposits and withdrawals using KuCoin when utilizing Ku currency. I think moving forward, we should make it a top priority to draft a constitution and set of rules as soon as possible and try to get them enacted. Over time, many validators will come to agree that not double noding is the best option because it demonstrates carelessness and disregard for the blockchain. Furthermore, when you corner the market, you prevent others from doing the same. It will be challenging to stay up with everything with all these new projects coming in. Plus, as I indicated earlier, when everyone begins nodding in agreement, things will go out of hand very fast. Rules must thus be established. It appears like a lot of you are pretty excited about this, despite my initial worry that it would be too complicated and time-consuming. The whole constitution should be a new document, branch, or section in the Git repository's documentation. Moreover, it is a commodity that may be traded via the legislative process. For that reason, the government can eliminate KYC for developers at a later date by voting to change the constitution. I too think that's the most equitable way to proceed. In the end, what matters is how validators and delegates are decentralized in making decisions. By the looks of the graphs, I think you're in for a treat today. It is difficult to tell what is happening at the moment, but normally we see flags, poles, pennants, falling wedges and rising wedges. However, Bitcoin's illogical behavior is the reason behind this. All around the market, it's causing havoc. I just use my indicators to enter and exit trades at the moment, and I also have my long-term holdings. Nonetheless, here I typically utilize this indication to catch increases of 20 to 30%. Their daily regimen consists of 3, 4, or 5 rounds across different currencies, including not getting greedy, tapping my way up, and keeping myself happy and active. While the rest of the world groans under the weight of their insatiable need for supercars like Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Could you tell me anything else? At this time, I am finding it quite interesting that USTC chose not to do a big dump after the fire. Hence, it is evident that when we rely on historical data for such analyses, we see the exact opposite result. As a result, it gives evidence where the immediate impact of burning on the data is still unclear. Concerning fire, many questions remain unanswered. This is an unusual situation. The information I can tell you at this time is limited, though. The video ends there. The usual likes and subscribes would be greatly appreciated. Depart, muchas gracias.